an enigma parked in a black hole, the mystery of the Toyota Celica GT Star Wars Edition giveaway car. Lost in space, or possibly a garage in Pasadena. Like all good 1970s California-centric pop culture phenomena, the near-mythical and oft-repeated tale of the 1977 Toyota Celica GT Star Wars sweepstakes has all the hallmarks of good sun-kissed, mid-decade mystery, inspiration, fantasy, airbrushing, a Farrah Fawcett hairdo, and hair Krishnas, and that's before things get really weird. Released with little fanfare over Memorial Day weekend in 1977, Star Wars, renamed Star Wars, Episode 4 A New Hope for the 1981 re-release, defied expectations at the box office and launched what is largely considered to be the most successful movie franchise of all time. Hollywood was taken slightly off guard by its near-instant success, but the dealmakers wasted little time in revving up the promotional machine to satisfy the demands of a new generation that was raised in a crossfire of multimedia marketing. But while the development and release of most the toys and ephemera inspired by the movie have been chronicled in detail, the Star Wars Edition 1977 Toyota Celica GT remains an enigma parked inside a black hole. Built in 1977 as the grand prize in the Star Wars Space Fantasy Sweepstakes, the car has for the better part of the last 40 years remained an apparition. Additional prizes in the contest included a very 70s Tastic Club Med Vacation, 8mm Star Wars films, soundtrack LPs, t-shirts, and books. Numerous media outlets have reported on the Star Wars Celica's brief appearance and near-immediate disappearance from the public eye for more than a decade now, most accounts tracing back to an April 2001 post on Relics of the Outer Rim, a subdirectory of the comprehensive Star Wars Collector's Archive site. Since then, the same set of about a half a dozen photographs and illustrations of the Star Wars Celica have been repurposed countless times, but the trail remains cold. Promotional company Martin Kane, the very entity that handled the sweepstakes in 1977, joined the search in 2015. Followed by a semi-official call to arms by Toyota of Great Britain in the same year. While the specifics regarding the creation of the Star Wars Celica GT are a bit muddied, most sources agree on the following details. The design was entrusted to John Sladek, chief stylist at Delphi Auto Design in Costa Mesa, alternately reported as Delphic Auto Design, who also is credited with creating the poster art for the sweepstakes. The car was then modified with a body kit similar or identical to those used for the 1977 Celica Pace car editions. Delphi Auto Design then reportedly hired Edmund Cano and Skip Villegas to paint the car and airbrush the graphics. The car was at some point delivered to 20th Century Fox, where the car was photographed with Darth Vader, R2-D2, and C-3PO. This photo would go on to be featured on the cover of the October 1977 issue of Toyota Today, a dealership-only publication from which most existing info and images of the SWC have been sourced. The same day, The car was also photographed on the Hello Dolly set with a Farrah Fawcett-coiffed Delphi Auto Design secretary posing in arguably the most 1970s California photo of all time. Then things got dark. According to folklore and as confirmed by the New York Times, certain Delphi investors and its parent company were up to no good, the shenanigans allegedly involving mobsters, Hare Krishnas, kidnapping, and ultimately the murder of legendary drag racer and alleged Delphi employee Stephen Bovin. Delphi Auto Design went out of business shortly thereafter. The contest ended on December 31, 1977, and the car was reportedly delivered to the winner in early 1978. And that was that, until decades later when images of the car began to circulate on the internet, triggering pangs of nostalgia and nerdiness in equal measure. Martin Kane, the obvious first stop on the search, didn't hang on to records that far back. The one semi-solid clue that has emerged over the decade involves Steve Sansweet, a former Lucasfilm employee, noted Star Wars collectible expert, and current CEO of the non-profit Rancho Obi-Wan. Sansweet recalls seeing an advertisement for the Star Wars Toyota in an issue of Antique Toy World magazine in the late 80s or early 90s, sometime around the late 1980s or early 1990s. I was reading my monthly issue when my eye was drawn to a small black and white ad at the bottom of a page. There it was, the Star Wars Toyota being offered up for sale by the original owner, who said it was in great shape. Here's the killer, the asking price was just $1,000. I remember being transfixed and started thinking how I could possibly buy this primo piece of promo history. Antique Toy World magazine did not reply to our inquiries regarding the car or the issue with the advertisement. At that point the trail goes cold. While interest peaks each year around this date, no clues regarding the winner, the car, or its current whereabouts have yet emerged. Until they do, all we can do is, in the words of Princess Leia, hope.